mean, what's another game and another record for LeBron James? Now he scored 40,000 points. Like the dude has like a 1,000-point triple double when it comes to like, points and rebounds and assists. Just truly a great career. He was also asked afterwards what he'd tell his 18-year-old self. And he basically said nothing. He said that the situation and the circumstances of that 18-year-old, he wouldn't wish on anybody. But then he talked about the maturity and the focus he had to have in order to live up to those expectations and be in that position and now work his way to where he is. Just looking at the whole thing is always a referendum on LeBron's greatness. What are your thoughts?
I was with him until he said he wouldn't tell him anything. Initially I thought he was going along the lines of saying he did everything right. He did all that he could do, so I wouldn't change anything. But in terms of telling him, I think you share that. At least share it with the interviewer, so that way when other guys that are aspiring, kids that look up to you, they know how to handle that situation. And for me, it's simple. Share that message with all of us so we can see the next potential LeBron James going forward. That was my only take.
I kind of took it as if he knew, if it was different, if that approach was different, if he knew something more, he might not be where he is now. Like that question of what would you tell yourself back in the day, it's like it would be cute to say, oh, don't go out, save your money. And everybody wants to say they'll do that. But if you were to talk to yourself when you were 18, you might not be where you are. You might not be where you are because you would have changed the process. So I think LeBron was saying, I would never want to change the process of what I went through, because if that process was changed, I wouldn't be the man I am now. And I agree with that. I don't know if I can talk to my 18-year-old self really thinking about it. Would I tell him all that I know now, because I would be a different person now if I knew that then?
I loved his answer because I agree with him. People will look at him saying, I wouldn't wish those set of circumstances on anyone, as an arrogance level, or say, why not? You were the first overall draft pick. You were King James. You had a Nike deal that was worth so many millions. That level of expectation and that pressure can crush a human. The level of scrutiny and criticism that LeBron James has faced over 2 decades is unlike we've ever seen from any player. And when he was asked about what he would tell his 18-year-old self, I feel a little different from you, Freddie, in that he should share it, because we're not going to see another one. Yeah. Because of LeBron, the next person will be looked at differently. The next person that's close to him, because he has a blueprint, right? Yeah. We look at Kobe Bryant differently in the way that he approached the game, the killer instinct that he had, if there was never a Michael Jordan. But because of Michael Jordan, we always say Kobe was just like Michael. Kobe was the closest thing to Michael. So the next kid that's #1 overall, that I don't know if we call him king, we might call him like emperor or somebody or whatever it is, we will compare everything that he does to LeBron. And we aren't going to see anybody for 2 decades have this level of excellence. We aren't going to see anybody who was under this microscope never have a misstep that becomes a scandal away from the court. LeBron James had the sort of pressure, if we're looking at it from a basketball standpoint, and he wasn't the first of anything that like President Obama had as the president, right? No matter what LeBron James did, it's actually never good enough. We talk about him going to 10 championships so we can talk about him losing 6.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think when I look at LeBron James, I believe he's had the greatest career of any basketball player that has ever lived. I believe the GOAT conversation is going to be subjective based on the way that you categorize it. Michael Jordan is always going to be my GOAT because he was the most dominant player I ever seen, especially that wasn't a big man to dominate physically. And he is single-handedly the reason a group of Hall of Famers don't have rings. He literally controlled your ability to win a championship. And as great as LeBron has been, I don't believe he controlled that. But I think salute to him, salute to his team, salute to his family for what he was able to become.